Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Performance Max campaign in as quickly as I possibly can. Thursday's video upcoming, I'm going to show you how to optimize and what I would focus on in a Performance Max campaign to improve performance and what to think about. But let's do this. You're in Google Ads. Let's click Create a campaign. You're going to click either sales or leads. I'm going to do sales because this is going to be e-commerce focused. Get your conversion goals in here. These should already auto-populate if you have things set up properly in your Google Ads account. Click on Performance Max. Select the correct Merchant Center account. You're going to name this campaign. Typically what I name it is SS for Search, which is my company's name, Performance Max or PMax, and then I'll do what the campaign is for, like the product, the name of your product or the goal of the campaign. Maybe it's a service as well. Put whatever that there, and then targeting, so United States. Click Start New. Typically for e-com, I focus on conversion value. And if you want to focus on new customer acquisition, you will select this box right here. Typically what Performance Max does is automatically targets low-hanging fruit, which tend to be those who are likely to purchase. A lot of times this does tend to be repeat purchases or existing customers, so it's up to you whether you want to turn that on or not. I'm going to leave it off for this instance. We'll do United States. Under more settings, what you're going to do is put a brand exclusion in place. What a brand exclusion is making sure that your Performance Max campaign doesn't show up for brand traffic, people who are actively searching for your brand. The reason that this is important is because if you don't have this in place, Performance Max will show your ad for mostly brand traffic, which will inflate the results because the conversion rate is going to be higher on brand traffic. So what I would do here is, my brand lists are already in here, but you would add a new brand list. You'd put your URL into that brand list and exclude your own brand from the campaign. We'll go to next here. Under next, it's going to give you some auto-generated assets. We're not going to use that. What we're going to do is you name your asset group. So typically what I'll name my asset group is whatever the targeting is. So if there's first party data in here or audience signals, or depending on what products you're putting in here. If it was all products, I would do like all products. And then if let's say you had certain signals in here or targeting or first party data, then you can put your audience name in here, but I'm just going to put audience name. As it comes to brand guidelines, you're obviously going to want to put your business name there, add in your brand logos here, and then when you go from there, what you're going to do is you're going to put in your ad copy. Now I'm not going to write ad copy in this video, but I would highly recommend utilizing as many of these spaces as possible. I would say have at least 10 headlines here, utilize all 5 long headlines, utilize all 5 descriptions. And then imagery, add as many images of your products, high quality images as possible to the campaign. For videos, I would want to make sure that you add in a couple of YouTube videos, at least one here, and you'll want to paste in the URLs from your YouTube channel, so you will have to upload them to your YouTube channel before doing so. But highly recommend putting YouTube videos in here, because if you don't have a video, Google will automatically create one, and we don't want that. We want to make sure you have a great YouTube video or YouTube ad showing in there as well. As it comes to site links, I would also add up to 4 site links here, adding in other relevant URLs from your website that other people could click to. Maybe it's certain collections, maybe you have bestsellers here, certain product categories, etc., that you could have as site links. For e-commerce, call to action, I'm always going to use Shop Now. There may be very specific instances where I would use a different call to action, but it's almost always going to be Shop Now. As it comes to search themes, this is basically where you're going to input keywords. Now these are suggestions for Google, and they're basically some of the words or phrases that people use when searching for your product or service, and that's exactly what you put that on there. But obviously Google goes outside the purview of what you put in here. Next thing, highly recommend putting audience signals in here. In terms of your data, this first party data is going to almost act like a lookalike in Performance Max. What you're going to do is you're going to add in lower funnel first party data. So if you have past purchasers, an email list of past purchasers, or just a general GA4 audience, I would add that in here as well. And as it comes to additional signals, it's kind of up to you, but you could add in interests, you could add in demographic targeting. Maybe you want to prioritize the signals going towards males or going towards women or going towards a certain age range, kind of whatever you want to do here under the demographics tab. And then you could name your audience and save it if you want to use it for a future date. But the reason that I name the ad set, whatever the audience is because if you're testing multiple asset groups with different audiences, you kind of want to know what audiences are driving performance. So you'll want to add in all that yourself. But you'll click next. Google's going to recommend whatever average daily budget, but what you're going to do is put in whatever budget you actually want to allocate. I wouldn't recommend doing anything less than $50 a day in this instance for Performance Max, because Performance Max is a very data-driven campaign and it's hard to generate data with anything less than $50 a day. So you can set a custom budget, say it's $50 a day. Click next. Just kind of confirm the details here. We have our campaign name in there properly. It's PMax, goals, purchases. We have our Merchant Center account in here. Everything seems to be set up properly. And the biggest thing here is, number one, the audience data, and then number two, assets. High quality YouTube videos, as well as high quality imagery as well. Loading this up with search themes, loading it up with first party data, and getting after it from there. But it's relatively easy setup. Want to make sure you get your ad copy dialed in, obviously, and you'll write that on your own. But once you have your ad copy, all the things that I had alluded to, you'll be able to come in here and set it up very, very quickly. Get it dialed in.